about, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? And I'm going to try my hardest to get your feedback on, man, what are we doing? Like, what is the goal? What is your goal? What are we, I mean, you were told what to do: grow up, go to school, get an education. Hey, my Renaissance grandma, good morning. Good morning. Q Dub, good morning. Good morning. We've been told what to do, but I don't think I don't think we don't think about it. Hey, soulful seedlings, beautifully unplanned. How you doing? She's Natural Homestead. How you doing, my sister? Fatima, how you doing? Second Floor Gardens. Listen, think about this, y'all. We do stuff and we don't even know why we do it. Hey, Sun Energy, how you doing, my sister? Well, I'll talk to you later about that. Hey, Buffy's Homestead. I'm going to start this out real quick. Hello to everybody. Hey, Cooking with Greatness. How you doing, little sister? I'm a look. I was sitting here last night. I didn't have a TV on. I didn't do nothing. Email. I will. I will. Sun Energy. I will. Oh, you will. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Reese, Ant for Barbecue, Brittany. Let me get into this because I know that's annoying to people when they do a replay where people roll off the line for 20 minutes saying hello. Hello to everybody. Come on in. I was sitting here last night and just sitting right here in this very spot, looking out the window, and I realized one thing. Don't start that. Been waiting all morning and ain't been doing nothing. Now she want to start squeaking that thing. I'd come and take it. Look, sitting out here waiting, looking out the window, and just thinking, man, I'm here. I got all of the power that I need. I have all the energy that I need. I have all the water that I need. I have all the food that I need. I have all the livestock that I need. All of my basic necessities of living is taken care of because of the investments that I've made. And let's say all in all, let's just say I've made, let's just say $50,000 to $60,000 of an investment to live here free of charge. I hate saying free, but you understand what I mean. So just think, for about $60,000, that includes the land, the cabin, the solar, the whole shebangy bang. For about 60,000 for everything that I've done. If you really think about it and being real, super realistic, let's just say $70,000. That means fully furnished. I told you not to do that. Fully furnished, all appliances, accessories, heat, air conditioning, the whole shot. Just say 70 grand. I'm trying to be as realistic as I possibly can. What are we doing? Somewhere along the way, we forgot our goal of what we're supposed to be doing or what we're trying to achieve. And I know what it is. While you on your journey, and I can't speak for everybody, I'm just talking about me. On your journey through life, you keep getting distracted with everything else. And when you get distracted with everything else, you kind of start going in that direction. And then your main focus is thrown off. I can kind of compare it to the Book of Eli. You know, on the movie, The Book of Eli, He had to stay on the path. No matter what he saw happening on the left, no matter what he saw happening on the right, no matter what he saw above him or beneath him, he was like, I can't be bothered with that. I got to stay on the path. And the only thing that Eli engaged in was anything that stood in his way of continuing his journey on that path. Now, see, I love that movie. That got to be one of my most favorite movies. And you want to know why The Book of Eli is one of my favorite movies of all time? Is because it got so many in-depth meanings that I watch that movie. I probably watch that movie probably once a month or once every 2 months, because every time I watch The Book of Eli, I see something else. I see another meaning. And it wasn't just a movie to me. That to me was art. It was a blueprint, and it had meanings to it. It had depth. It wasn't just about some dude walking through the valley and post-apocalypse. That wasn't it at all. It was about messages. It's kind of like giving you some clue messages of what we're doing. And I gotta say, none of us are Eli, because we keep getting distracted by the stuff on the sides of us. We keep getting, let me see, make states are going. So that's what we're doing here. I was just thinking, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday too, and I start telling him, you know, really, I live for free. Here on my land, I can live for free. And keeping my house in South Carolina is more of a business move, a long-term business move, than it is anything else, because I'm over living in the city. I've already told y'all that. And I really start thinking about it. I'm trying to hustle, scratch, scrape, and do everything I need to do to try to keep this house afloat in the city that I can't stand, all over a business move that I really can't accomplish no time soon. But in the meantime, I'm breaking my neck trying to keep it maintained, trying to keep it up and everything. I got a mortgage on it. We trying to pay the house off. But I'm like, that shit is so, let me not curse this early in the morning. I ain't gonna do that to y'all today. Man, it's so stressful to be paying bills with no end in sight. Do you feel me? There is no end in sight. And I want, for all of you older folks watching me, I want for all of you younger folks watching me, especially the younger folks, if there are any out there, I want you to really think about that. There is no end in sight for these bills, man. None of these bills are supposed to be everlasting. And it's gotten to a point where we're okay with that. Renaissance Grandma, is definitely stressful paying for bills when no end is in sight. I want you to think about that. When there's a goal, okay? When we say you get at work, you got a job. Say you're saving up to get a new car. You like, oh, I got this car I really, really want. You know, I'm going to get a couple more paychecks, and then I'm going to go, if that car is still on the lot, I'm going to go and pick up this car. I really like this car, right? We all do this. It could be anything. I just picked a car. On that last payday, you get that last check that's going to give you enough money to go put a down payment on that car. Okay, you head to that car lot and you buy the car. That was a end in sight. That gave you a goal. That gave you something to live for. That gave you something to give you drive to get up and go to work. It made you wake up. You didn't need no alarm clock because you couldn't wait to get that car so bad that, man, that's what woke you up every day. That's what got you out of bed to go to work every day. That goal, you had a goal that you was thriving for, right? And once you got that car, you were satisfied. You did the work, you met the goal, you purchased the car. Everything is fine. But now things are set up where you're never, ever, ever done paying for anything. If you have a credit card, the interest rates on your credit card is so high. I don't care if you spend just $100 on your credit card. You got a $5,000 credit limit, but if you only spend $100, the interest rate is so freaking high. Even though you only spent $100, you'll be paying that $100 back for the next 2 years because most of your payment, your monthly payment on that credit card, goes directly to the interest. The interest is probably 46%, 38%. So they take 38% of your payment out of your credit or of your payment towards interest. And then the rest goes towards your credit that you accumulated. So you never get done paying for a simple $100 bill, credit account. You'll be paying on that $100 for a year because the interest rates. And if you purchase a home, that used to be a 30-year mortgage, but they've even stretched out the mortgage now. They'll let you pay on this house for 50, 60 years. And you know what? People are actually doing that because they think that they're going to get a lower payment, which you will, if the bank allows you to pay for your house for the next 50 to 60 years, you will get a lower payment every month. But you'll be paying for it for 50 or 60 years. It'll never be yours. And the bank started realizing that. They even realize that now about cars, where, usually they want you to pay off this vehicle in anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Now, did you know you can go to a car dealership and they'll give you a 10-year loan or better? Did you know that? Because they know if we drag you along for 10 years, giving you a smaller payment per month, but a higher interest rate, man, we're going to be raking you over the coals for the next 10 to 12 years. Did y'all know that? I'm asking. My question is, what are we doing this for? I got this house in the city that I'm paying for month by month by month, and I probably got another 15 years to pay on the house. Let me see. I want to engage. Katina Brooks, hey, Katina Brooks, say, I remember when we had 4 years to pay off vehicles, then 5, then 7. Absolutely. Yvette says 10 years is diabolical, but go look. They give you anywhere from 10 to 12 years to pay your vehicle off now. Because if you think about it, vehicles cost so much, they better give you more time because you got to go out here and buy a car for $80,000. Man, oh my God. My first house that I purchased was $35,000. I kid you not. The first house that me and my wife purchased together was a 3-bedroom, 3-story home. Well, 2-story home with an attic and a full basement. And I paid with a nice little yard, nothing to scream about. I paid $35,000 for my very first home in a nice, decent, I ain't gonna say nice, decent neighborhood where my kids can grow up without getting blamed on. $35,000 for a whole house with a garage. And now we talking about cars, just a raggedy little car is $80,000, right? Let me see. Well, I'm not talking about property tax. We ain't gonna do that because if you're gonna always have, let me straighten something out about taxes, okay? This is why I have a problem, and I rock both ways with taxes. I'm gonna tell you why. And everybody always say you never really own anything because you have to pay taxes. Um, right? Oh, I gotta say that too. Omarosa says, no wonder the salesman was upset when I paid the car off on spot. They don't want that. They want that interest rate. They want that interest payment. They don't care about your little paying for the car. They want that interest. That's where they make their money. But let me talk about taxes real quick, where everybody ain't gonna agree with me on this. But you gotta be realistic, and I'm a realistic brother. Everybody say, yeah, you never own the land because you gotta pay taxes. You gotta pay taxes here, you gotta pay taxes here, you gotta pay taxes there. Let me play devil's advocate for 1 minute. There's nothing wrong with paying taxes. I know, before you put the red dot on my forehead, hear me out. There's nothing wrong with paying taxes. We should pay taxes. If we are to be a community, if we are to be a society, everybody should chip in a little bit to keep that society safe, clean, healthy, clean roads, infrastructure, plumbing, sewage, electrical. Everybody should pay a little something into that to help everybody. It's supposed to be like your household. Do you want a whole bunch of MFers living in your house and they ain't chipping in? Everybody got to chip in, right? Whether you got them paying rent, you got to start buying the tissue paper, you got to start buying the milk, you got to cut the grass, right? Everybody got to chip in or you can't be here. The problem, the real true problem with paying taxes is it's corrupt. It's not paying the taxes that gets you. It's the corruption behind it that makes paying taxes bad. If you don't understand that, whoever don't understand that, you couldn't be owning anything and understand it. You people that don't understand that concept, it's impossible for you to have own anything and understand it. Like, uh, so my point is this. Wait, what is this? I just said how it's supposed to work. I'm not going to talk about the politics of paying taxes. I'm talking about the way the structure of paying taxes is supposed to work. I don't want to turn this into a political conversation, okay? Because, again, I sum that up with the reason why taxes are frowned upon is because of the people that are corrupt controlling it. Paying the taxes is okay. The only reason your taxes increase is because of the corrupt people controlling it. They want more money in their pockets. Paying taxes, I'm all down with that. I am. I'm down for paying taxes when it's credible and it's legit. But the corruption is what making, for instance, I can talk. Let's talk on this subject real quick. In my neighborhood in South Carolina, in my subdivision, there was a tax that came up about sidewalks. Because I live in South Carolina. There are very, very few, if any, sidewalks in Columbia, South Carolina. What happens is people drive their bicycles and be walking their kids and their dog in the middle of the street, and cars come and, cream puff them, and they keep wondering why people keep getting deleted by cars, because there ain't no dang on sidewalks. I'm trying not to curse. So when the sidewalk tax came up, I'll never forget this, because this was about 8 years ago. It come up every year, and people just so slow they don't get it. The tax was, I want to say, 1/4 of 1 cent tax to put sidewalks throughout Columbia, South Carolina. So pedestrians could walk around, because there's not a really, our transit system really sucks. And a lot of people do a lot of walking, but you're either walking down in an alligator filled ditch, or walking through some grass getting ticks, or trying to walk in the street and you get hit by cars and stuff. So for me, I don't want to pay more taxes, right? But I also don't want nobody to be having their lives taken by getting struck by cars. And the fix is simple. Put sidewalks everywhere so people can walk around and enjoy life instead of always having to get in a car. So to me, it was a no-brainer. 1/4 of 1 cent goes into putting sidewalks in. I was all for it. Do you know Columbia, South Carolina voted, and they keep voting every year, voting that down? They refuse. Well, I'm not paying more taxes to the... And then when people be getting their lives taken by getting hit by cars, they be like, this is injustice. We need the speed limits to go down. Yeah, the speed limit is already at 35 miles an hour all through the city. What you want them to do, 5 miles an hour? Oh, you want them to walk. You want them to go so slow that they need to walk. Uh-oh, that's sidewalks. It don't make no sense. Okay, let me stop, because I don't want to fly off the handle. That's not what we're here for. So I don't want to talk about property tax. I don't want to talk about taxing. I think we should pay tax, but I feel that we need to get the corruption out of the taxation. That's the problem. Okay. I don't 99 Fabrication said, add that 1/4 of 1 cent to sales tax. Now my home. There you go. Oh, see what I'm saying? This can be done any kind of way. Absolutely. To sales tax, and not to me personally, my home, my property. Absolutely. 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 But they just voted down no matter what. It wasn't even up for discussion. But that's neither here nor there. This is my point today, is what are we doing? I want you watching me right now to ask yourself, man, what am I doing? I want you to think of all the credit cards you have, all the vehicles you have outside, all the stuff we got, your house, your apartment, whatever, your condo, whatever. And I want you to think about how long that it's going to take you to actually pay all of that stuff off. You know what I think? I think a lot of us that's watching right now and listening to my voice, there is no answer to that question, is it? You'll never stop paying it. You can never pay half of that stuff off. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to have a serious talk. I'm going to have a serious talk with my wife. And I'm going to say, listen, man, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing this for? Now, my wife is going to be 50 years old next month. We are in our 50s now. Hey, Precious, how you doing? We are in our 50s. Everybody think that you should be relaxing in your 60s and your 70s. Why should you have to wait till you're 60-something or 70-something to try to relax? And the only thing you're really truly doing at those ages is going to the doctor and trying to figure out why your back hurt. When will your knees stop hurting? Hell, that stuff starts in your 40s and 50s. Like, all you got to do is sneeze and you throw your neck out of joint. So what they're saying is in your 60s and 70s, all you're going to be doing is self-medicating and taking care of yourself and hoping you don't croak. That's the only time they're saying that you could get a break. But you know something? I truly, if you're different, I would like to know it, but I do not personally know anybody in their 60s or 70s that's retired that don't gotta make no money. I don't know anybody, and that's just me personally. I don't know if you do or are you, but everybody that I know personally in their 60s, 70s, they still work. In one way, form, or fashion, they still work. And not because they want to, because they have to. C. Wood says, I'm over 60, started late, will hustle until the grave. You want to hustle because you want to or because you have to? That's a good question. You are hustling until you die because you want to or because you have to? I'm asking. C. Wood says, because I have to. I kind of I kind of figured. I just wanted to ask. It got to be another way. It got to be another way, man. I'm sitting here, and it's only what it's almost 11 o'clock, and I said, as soon as the temperature, well, I'm supposed to have my air conditioning on now, but it is still real nice. So as soon as the temperature hit about 85, I'm gonna cut the air conditioning on. But I'm gonna be doing it for free. Says when my mom was alive, she retired at 55. She went back to work part-time because she wanted to be around people again. I had moved away due to the military life, and it was just her and I. Okay. Sean says, I'm learning so I can live easier and teach my children so they understand. What is that? I don't know what that is. The real things to life. You meant understand? I don't understand what you're saying. But you, it's another way. It's another way. Man, we so distracted. Man, look what we doing. When I'm at home, I look around and I feel like I always say this quote because this was one of the most meaningful quotes on this movie I saw. Have you ever seen Bad Santa? It's a movie with what's my man name? I can't think his name right off the bat, but Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton got a movie called Bad Santa. On the first movie, because it's a couple of them, just watch the first one, the other ones suck. On that first movie, at the very end, now just to give you a little brief overtone of the movie, they're a bunch of thieves. Billy Bob Thornton is just a drunk. And Billy Bob Thornton only want to steal enough so he can get drunk and stay drunk. He don't care about excess cars, jewelry. He don't care about none of that. All he cares about is getting enough, stealing enough to keep the booze on tap. That's it. But his little buddy, I forget my man's name, black dude who played in Friday. He was Miss Parker's husband. Um, he was just a greedy little thief. And Billy Bob Thornton, and this is the quote out of that whole movie. There we go. I had about 400 apps open, plus somebody was trying to call. Listen, in that movie, that quote was so powerful. I don't remember too much, if anything else said in that whole movie. But Billy Bob Thornton asked the little thief, he said, why do you need so much of this shit? Like, when is enough enough? What are you gonna do with all this shit? You don't sell it, you don't do it, you just accumulate it. Like, why do you keep doing this? Billy Bob Thornton, the drunk thief, that only steals enough to stay drunk, asked the little greedy thief, man, why do you need all this stuff? When are you going to stop being a thief? You don't got to do this all the time. You do enough to get by and live, but you so greedy. That was the most meaningful. Everybody think that movie is horrible. I love the movie. But that right there stuck with me in my head. I downloaded that into my head because that's exactly what he meant. Why do we, all of us, need all this shit if none of it is benefiting us to live for free? Now, that's my point. Now, if you have a bunch of things, like, okay, for instance, I got a bunch of solar generators. I got a bunch of solar panels. I've invested in solar power. I've invested in digging a well. I've been invested in tools to dig said well, right? I want you to think about that for a minute. Those purchases or those investments were purchased for the sole reason that it will help me live for free. Here. Codebreaker 99. Thoughts on universal basic income. What do you mean by that? What is that? Explain it to me and I'll tell you. Thoughts on universal basic income. What do you mean by that? Like, explain it to me because I don't know what you're talking about. And how does that have anything to do with what we're talking about today? I don't understand what you mean. The Woodlanders. What do you mean by front loading costs? What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying. Codebreaker says pay to every U.S. adult citizen that can get basic necessities. A universal pay. Let me go back and see this again. What are my thoughts on universal basic income? And you said pay to every U.S. adult citizen, they get basic necessities. U.S. Well, I'm going to ask you a question with your question. Ivory says, they're explaining it too, is the amount of money that everyone gets to live. They can spend it on their basic needs, but may not cover everyone. Okay. Say they want to do the same thing in the UK, but it's taking long. Okay, here. How do you think that will work? Because I'm just now hearing about it, so I'm not going to give you my take on something that I don't know about or understand. What are your takes on it? What are your thoughts on universal income? Because I don't know. I have a thought right off the top of my head, but I don't want to let it out my mouth because with me not knowing anything about the subject, it will be just ignorance or speculation. He says he's talking about government assistance. That's not living for free. That's living off the government. That's what the BLKAC says. 99 Fabrication says, yeah, but where does that money come from? More taxes. See, I said I didn't want to open my mouth, but everybody is saying what I'm thinking. Where's all of this money coming from? Omarosa, she says, anytime you depend on the system, it's not a good idea. I agree. Kino Kisses says 99 says exactly where's the funding coming from? Exactly, I agree 100%. This is what I'm going to say. Okay, can I tap, y'all want to hear me tap in on universal payouts to everybody, universal income for everybody? Because it sounds like, to me, it doesn't sound like government assistance per se. It sounds something a little bit more, even more diabolical. Okay. Kohlberger says, I think it's great. Everyone deserves a baseline, whether they mess it up or not. It's their fault. They spend it on much dumber things. That you sound like you talking about welfare. I think said nothing comes for free. Money has income. This is let me give you my take on this. All right. Y'all want my take, I'm gonna give it to you. Want to hear? Here it go. Okay, everybody, and somebody just said, you know, everybody deserves a little something and da-da-da-da-da. Okay. I'm not going to agree or disagree. I don't agree or disagree with whatever this united income thing is. This is what I will say. Why? See, this goes with my video today. What are we doing? Why are we doing the stuff that we do? Why? I really want to curse right now a lot. I'm trying to keep my cool. Why would you want the government in any way, form, or fashion giving you income. Every month, you will be waiting at the mailbox for your check to drop because we say we deserve it, right? I'm asking. Y'all saying we do, some people saying we do deserve something no matter how you spend it. No matter how you spend it, somebody said we all deserve universal income. Did I just hear that right? I'm giving y'all the floor to it's proposed income set by the, yeah, I know about that one. Nothing come for free. They can't even get Medicare for all. Absolutely. Good morning. Uh, we are already paying for welfare. Uh, if you pay taxes to contribute to society, the U.S., you don't deserve to be homeless. Now, code breaker. Now we getting somewhere. Absolutely, I agree. Said whoever that was suggested it got a lazy way of thinking. Okay, let me stop this. Okay, let me stop this. Universal. Okay, let me stop this with a simple solution. Why would you want a government handout? Like, why would you want the government to help you do anything? Why would you want money from the government? Somebody said because they pay into taxes, right? Somebody said because they pay into taxes. That's why the government should give us some money back for universal income. Am I saying this wrong or right? I'm asking because I'm gonna follow this up, and I'm trying to let you talk so we can all agree or disagree on the situation. 99 fabrication. Okay. Kohlberger said, you are correct. Every minute you physically labor, you are paying towards insurance they call welfare, yet your own insurance. Okay, I'm asking a question, though. Say, how about paying less taxes instead of creating dependency on the government? I'm not even saying that either. The theory is because, come on, y'all. I'm asking a question that y'all asking me, and y'all ain't answering it. Digital said, "Why would you want a government handout?" This, let me say what I'm gonna say and get this over with, because I'm trying to give y'all. Oh, see, this is why don't nothing happen, because I'm not gonna be offensive. Ideas pop off your head without any thought. Your words when you start talking, your words don't make sense because they're not well thought out, right? Your words don't make any MF and sense. So when you ask a question like that and you have no depth or no context to it, it makes everybody come against you. Now, what I mean by that is, why on God's green earth would I want money from the government to help me do anything? And I know what some of y'all is thinking, and it's not right. This is what I'm saying. Why ask the government for a monthly stipend? I'm spitting. Why ask the government for a monthly stipend to pay you, said society, the people, so you can live for basic needs? Because nobody deserves to be homeless is what you said. And this is quite a few people said this. Why are you asking for money? Why aren't you asking for land? And I will agree with 99 Fabrication on this, where the way you're thinking is a lazy way of thinking. It really is. I'm not putting nobody down. I'm being honest. It's a lazy way of thinking because you want something for free. You want something that you think that you deserve, right? Which you do. As the people, you do deserve something for everything you give blood, sweat, and tears to contribute to society. You do. But why you want money? How about the government should give everybody at least 2 acres of land, and then allow you to put a dwelling on it, allow you to farm said land, garden said land, livestock said land, so you can live for free. But you only live for free off the sweat of your own brow. Meaning, if you own this land that the government gave you, which was supposed to happen anyway, that means you ain't gonna be sitting your butt, I'm trying not to curse, you ain't gonna be sitting your tail on the couch all day watching TV, watching Maury Povich. You gonna be out here on your land planting seeds, watering your garden, tending to your livestock, and getting your solar and stuff together, right? So you can actually truly live for free. But see, when I say live for free, like when I say I'm here living for free, I am technically, but I ain't. Because if I don't get up, if I don't go out there and feed them livestock, if I don't go water the livestock, if I don't go tend to this solar, if I don't maintain my solar, if I don't maintain my roof or my shelter, if I don't get out here and plant no seeds in this garden so I can eat, if I don't go out here and water my garden so I can eat, if I don't do nothing this, and I'm sitting here watching Maury Povich all day, you don't work, you don't eat. But there will be only one person to blame. You. So I don't want money from the government. I don't really, me, frankly, I don't want to have anything to do with the government. I don't want to have anything. I don't want them prying into my life at all. If it was up to me, leave me alone. Guess what? And just so I can prove my point, let me take my tone down. Did you know that once you own land, depending on where it is and how it is, did you know, like I'm going to talk about me. Did you know that I'm qualified for about 20 different government-assisted programs? Listen, my land is coded agricultural. I could do anything I want with this land, right? So my land qualifies me for government-assisted funding and loan. I could do anything on Freedom Makers with all this land because all of the things that I have literally make me qualified for every program that they have. Government-assisted program. For some of them, you got to have a certain amount of acres of woods. You got to have a certain amount of acres of clearing. You got to have a certain amount of acres in general. You got to have a certain location. It has to be certified as agricultural. It has to be certified this. If water is running through it, guess what? I meet every last single criteria for all of those government-assisted programs where I could go and get a high tunnel, the big giant grow houses like the greenhouses you see at the nursery. I could get one of them for a little of nothing, probably I think it's like $500, $1,200. I could have them put all over my land. I could have government-assisted funding for my livestock because I can go ahead and say I run a farm. I could do all. I could have timber taken out and timber. I could do anything. I have everything I need on my land to not only get all of these free perks from the government, but I would also be getting a check in my pocket every month if I produce the way they want me to produce. I've been here almost 4 years. Why haven't I done that? Because I don't want to have anything to do with the government. Because everything that they give you in all of those funding programs, they want something from you. When you go and you pay into, hey, you getting a high tunnel from the government and what they have to come back here on your land, inspect, look around, and why? And then they have to keep coming in like the landlord and checking if you're doing it right. No thanks. I don't want none of y'all free stuff if it means I gotta deal with you. So that's my whole point. I don't want to have any dealings with the government if I don't have to. Right. It's always some strings attached when it comes to the government. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. With me, I just want to get down on guess what else I found out? Guess what else I found out? I qualify, if I did it, I qualify to have my pond they can help me dig my pond, and I qualify to help me remove these derelict structures off my land. As bad as I want to get rid of this haunted house, as bad as I want my pond, I don't want to sell my soul for it though. They've been here all this time. It ain't bothering me. My pond ain't done yet. It ain't bothering me. But I don't want to be regulated by the government because of a couple of things that I want done, that if I just be patient and play my cards right and spend my money properly, I can have all that done myself and I don't need them. I'm not in no rush. That's the problem. See, this is why I say we doing it wrong. We always trying to rush to get some stuff that we don't even need. I'm not in a rush. Hey, I own my land free and clear. I don't owe nobody for it. I own my cabin free and clear. I don't owe nobody for it. I own my solar free and clear. I don't owe nobody for it. I own my well free and clear. I don't owe nobody for it. Why am I rushing to get rid of a house that's just an eyesore to me and to dig a pond that it'll happen? Why I'm in such a rush? So when we're all talking, I want you to think about what you're asking for before you say it. Like, for instance, you know that saying, man, careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for is one of the greatest sayings of all time. Because you're wishing 9 times out of 10, what we always usually wish for is the wrong thing. You want this person or those people in the chat would like free money every month. I don't want their free money. Now, if you gave me some land, that's different. That's a whole nother ball game because they owe us all land, right? They owe us. It's documented that they owe a lot of people 40 acres. It's documented and it's still on the books. They just haven't done it yet. So I don't want anything to do with the government giving universal income. You keep your universal income. Give me my land, buddy. Give me my land and we'll call it square. So we be wishing for the wrong things. We want the government to give us the wrong. You know what you asked for? You asked for. Codebreaker said, what's the worst case scenario of universal basic income? People live a life. You, Codebreaker, are you a troll? Cause I'm about to get rid of you because I've been telling you what's the ups and the downs of it. Now, if you a troll, okay, go on about your business because I'm not doing that today. All right. Let me see, because I don't want to jump off the handle. There is no Nathaniel, how many acres is Freedom Acres on now, Lid? About a fourth of an acre. About a fourth of an acre. Up here in Oklahoma. Coldbreaker says there is no downside. We already have the money for it. It's being allocated right. Well, Coldbreaker, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think if you're asking for universal income, I think you're asking for the wrong MFing thing. If you ask me, this is my opinion, okay? I'm not saying you're not right, because if that's what your goal is, it's kind of stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying you're asking for the wrong thing. If you go for, let me break this down to you, okay? And for anybody else don't understand what I'm gonna say, what I'm saying, I'm gonna try to break this down into, if you go to the bank for a loan, the bank has given you a letter that's telling you that you are qualified for a $250,000 loan. You go to that bank and you say all you want to borrow is the ink pen. Can I get one of those free pens on the desk out there? And they like, you can have that for free. You don't have to sign any paperwork to go out there and get a free pen. That's what you're asking for. You have opportunity, and somebody gave you opportunity. If your mama and your daddy want you want to borrow the car, but you want to, can I borrow your bicycle to get to work? You can just take the car. That's what you're doing. Oh my God. You mean to tell me you would take a free payout every month that's probably going to be like $300, $400? You would this is some lottery scratch off type bullshit right here. You would rather take $300 a month, because the government ain't gonna give you more than that, and you ain't doing nothing. Now, let's be honest. I don't care where you live on the planet. They're gonna probably give you about $200, $300. You sell for basic necessities, food, water, tissue paper, stuff like that. Let me tone down because I'm getting hot. Okay. You mean to tell me you would take $200 or $300, $400? Let's say $500. You would take $500 per month over 5 acres? It don't matter if they say I want the acres that I'm on. You mean to tell me you would take $500 over 5 acres of land? Somebody has been telling you everything wrong. That doesn't even make any sense. And what I'm trying to do is get you to understand what you're asking for. Because if they gave you land, you know what? And you're right, LA. You said too many people willing to give up their freedom and rights for convenience. I got a standing ovation on that. Because that's it. People give up their lives and their freedom for convenience. And Kohlberger says, I didn't say the world, brother. I said, if you can contribute to society, pay taxes, you deserve universal basic income. I know exactly what you said. And you still don't get it. I'm not going to listen, I'm not going to try to make that make any sense to you because you're stuck on getting a free check. And I'm trying to tell you how to live for free for the rest of your life. And you're trying to say how to get a free check from the government once a month. So if you don't understand that, I'm not the guy to explain it to you. Okay? So we can leave that conversation alone. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. You have made my video wonderful because you just explained everything that I was trying to explain in the beginning of the video. I said, what are we doing? What are we doing this for? And you just explained it. Because some people don't get it. They get distracted by nonsense and you asking the wrong questions. You're asking for the wrong things. You're asking the government, can we get a check every month? Instead of thinking, look, let me say one more thing. Okay, let's say the government, you ask for the government to give you universal income once a month, right? When you die, we all gotta die, your universal income stops. Your universal income won't help anybody else. It'll just feed you. If you want land, when you die, here in America, you can pass that land on to your children. And your children can pass it on to their children. So on and so forth forever. So you will literally be generating generational wealth. So whatever each generation or family does with that land, you're always earning income. And you're not just waiting for $300 or $400. Hell, you can get a flock of chickens out there and be selling eggs that's going to make you more than $400 a month. Code Breaker, do me a favor. Code Breaker, do me a favor, okay? That's enough of that conversation, okay? I'm not going to go back and forth with you. And listen, I'm not your daddy, okay? So I'm not going to try to make you understand how reality works or life works. You don't have to. It ain't that you don't agree with me. You don't understand. And I'm not. It almost sounds narcissistic of me to say that, but it's everybody in this chat. Just about everybody in this chat understands what I'm saying. You don't. You're asking for pennies when you could have an empire. You're asking for pennies that's going to be controlled by somebody else instead of asking for an empire that you're in 100% control of. So I'm gonna say this to you again, Code Breaker, okay? Just don't say nothing else, okay? That conversation is over. I'm not here to try to make you understand the reality. I can tell you one thing right now. I can tell you something right this very minute about you, and I don't know you from a hole in a sock, that you don't own anything. And you sound fairly young. But if you're older, I feel bad for you because your way of thinking is broken. Okay? So do me a favor. Don't say anything else, okay? I don't want to wish you to the cornfield, but I also don't want to be teaching. I got children. I'm still trying to teach young adults. I don't want to be teaching no grown-ass man or woman how this world works. But I tell you this, you're not getting universal income. I don't care where you live. That's not going to happen. What you're going to get is regulated government assistance, welfare. That's what you're going to get. And with regulated government assistance, you will be kept a tab on all the time. But you guys, this is what my whole video was about. Is so many people walking around delusional. that they don't even realize that the answer is right here in their face. When I started this video off, I was saying, why am I paying for a house in the city, paying towards the man, when I got acres of land here, paying for free? Here in Oklahoma, when I had got a quarter of an acre here in Oklahoma, that I could be living for free. It doesn't make any sense. And if you sit still long enough in silence and start thinking about reality, man, it all starts to make sense. Like, you know what? I'm doing something wrong. Because I don't want to go to work every day. I don't want to be forced to go to work every day. You know how I want to work? I want to work when I feel like working. I want to go to work when I need a little bit of extra money to do something that I need to do. I want to go. I don't want nobody calling my house talking about some, hey, you late. I don't want nobody calling my house or bringing me in their office talking about some, listen, one more time and you're fired. I don't ever want to have to do that again. And all of us, I'm going to say, oh my God, I'm going to say this. All of us should really be buckling down, because I don't want to go back into that world. Right? But I'm going to tell you this, why I know I'm right on this one. Okay? I ain't right about a lot of stuff, but I'm right about this one. We are all about to find out the differences between owning your own and waiting on a government handout. I said, I said, stop talking. All right? Stop talking, please. Please stop talking. Codebreaker, don't say nothing else, please. In this whole video, don't say anything else. I'm doing everything in my power not to take you to the cornfield. All right? Please don't say anything else. Just stop typing. All right? Our conversation is over. But look what we're doing. All the jobs are being taken by AI and robots. Why would you want to keep trying to squeeze yourself into a system that's failing? Why would you want to keep trying to want from the master? That's what you're doing. You want the master to feed you. Y'all get what I'm saying? Why would you want that? That's to me, that's heartbreaking to me. That people still want to live up under master's rule instead of wanting their own, because they done got so lazy and complacent that they want a handout instead of, hey, I don't want no government assistance. I'm not saying people don't need it, because some people do. What I'm saying is, most people, I wouldn't ask the government for that. I would ask the government to give me what you owe me. Give me land. I don't want your money. I don't want your handouts. I don't want you standing over me. Give me the land that you owe me so I can work my land and I can produce. I want to produce my own without you. You know what it reminds me of? It almost reminds me, besides living up under the master's plantation, it reminds me of those is the kids that never want to leave their mom and daddy house. You live in the basement. They never want to get out on their own because they know all they gotta do is come up those basement stairs and uh 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 and go in the refrigerator and get that frozen pizza that mom and dad left behind, or that cold chicken that mommy and daddy got in the refrigerator. They want to keep borrowing mommy and daddy's car. Those are the kids that never want to get up out of their mommy and daddy basement, right? Uh, and that's the mindset that everybody has now. Everybody wants something for nothing. Don't nobody want to work for anything. Now, in our society, what I was talking about earlier about paying taxes, there are people, older people, that have lived their whole lives. And yes, we all should help take care of our elders. We all should contribute to our infants and small children in their development, whether it's physical, mental, or educational. I think we all should chip into that. And I think we should all chip into the care of our elders' golden years until they cross to the other side. I do. But for everybody else, I do think we should care for our disabled. But everybody getting some money for nothing, that literally doesn't even make any sense. Because if everybody is getting universal income, where's all this money coming from? And if everybody is getting the same check, it doesn't equal out. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm not touching on that. And even if you believe in that kind of thing, I mean, you're wishing for the wrong thing. When we keep on talking about some people need to have, I'm not even gonna touch on that. It's ridiculous to me. Why the hell would you sitting on Santa Claus's lap, and out of all the things that you could ask Santa Claus for, you asked him for, I want a Hot Wheel car. What? You don't want a real car? No, I always wanted a Hot Wheel car. I think we all deserve Hot Wheel cars. You know what it remind me of? The genie in the lamp. We've all heard the stories of the genie in the lamp. You find a genie lamp on the beach or something. You grab the genie lamp, you rub it, and you get 3 wishes. The genie tells you, before you make a wish, I need you to think about it really, really good, because you only get 3. Before you wish anything now, I want you to really go home, sleep on it, think about it. You know, even if it got to take you a week, whatever. Just think about it really good before you rub this bottle and I come back out and you ready to make this wish. Well, what this world is doing now is like the genie in the lamp. And if they giving you something and you get 1 wish, you're rubbing the genie like, I'm ready for my wish. The genie of the lamp, I am the genie of the lamp. What can I do for you? I can do anything. I sure am hungry. What? I sure could use me a cheeseburger and some fries. Mm-mm. Wait, are you telling me you're hungry? Or are you wishing for a cheeseburger and fries? Ooh, I sure am hungry. I could use me a cheeseburger. Yeah, I want to wish. I want to make my wish on a cheeseburger and fry. The genie is so sick and like, wait, please don't stop saying that. Stop saying the word wish for a minute. I just want to repeat to you what you said out your mouth. You got one wish and you're hungry. You want food. You don't mean you wish for a cheeseburger and fries right now, because you know if you did that, that would be your only freaking wish forever. I will go back in this bottle, the top would go back on, and I'm going back out on the beach for the next dumbass to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mess around and wish for that cheeseburger and fry. Boy, I'm starving. The genie can't tell you anything else because he's cursed. He can't tell you that you could wish for $1 trillion and you can buy 1 trillion cheeseburgers and fries for the rest of your life, your family's life, your baby's mama's lives, all of that. No. You want to eat a cheeseburger and fry right now. You got one wish, like Ray J said. Y'all missed that one, didn't you? You got one wish, and out of all the things that you could wish for, you are asking the genie, the all-powerful genie of the lamp, for a cheeseburger and some fries. From your favorite restaurant. So to me, if the government is giving you the opportunity and offering you something to satisfy the needs of the people, and that's all you want is $300 or $400 a month until you die, versus a plot of land that you can build and grow all that money yourself and pass it on to your children so your children can make money and live for free, so on. I can't do it, y'all. This is the world we live in, and that's why everybody broke as fuck. I'm sorry for cursing, but I'm telling you, man, people, I'm not going to call names and all that like I usually do. I'm just going to say, man, I feel so sorry for this world. I feel so sorry for these people because we are so uneducated because of things you saw on TikTok. You saw a video on TikTok. You thought it was a good idea. Out of all the things to run up to the government and beg them for, you want a little check every month? My question to everybody, how much money do you think that the government in any country is going to give you every month? They are not going to give you enough money to pay your rent, enough money to pay your lights, gas, water, and utility, enough money for food, enough money to buy a car, and enough money to maintain said car and put fuel in it. So what do you want that little bit of money for? So you can go smoke a little weed? Because that's all you really doing. You worrying about childish things. I got enough money, give me a little sack of weed, and then go after I get high, go and get me some McDonald's or some Chick-fil-A. Stupid. You don't even know what you're saying. You are ruining your life, your children's life, your children's children's life by wanting selfish things. And you don't understand that. People don't understand that. And it's sad because people say, "Led, you think you know everything. I can't stand your narcissistic way of thinking." Okay, If you don't like my way of thinking, explain that stupid shit then. Because I think it's stupid. And if that makes me a narcissist, call me what you want. Because guess what? My so-called narcissistic mentality that I keep getting told that I have got me living swell. So I'm trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. If I'm the narcissist because I don't agree with nonsensical bullshit, so I'm a narcissist because what I'm doing is right and what I'm doing is working, and what you're suggesting, I show you every day it works. Every single day I come on this video, I show you my thoughts and the things that I've put together works. What's to contest? I'm not saying that I have a theory of, I'm sitting on the facts right here. I'm literally sitting on proof. I got a fan blowing on me because the proof, that's proof. The fan blowing my shirt, that's proof of my way is working. I'm not saying and never have proclaimed that my way is the only way, but I am saying my way is literally working. I haven't worked in over 4 years. I haven't had to get up and smack an alarm clock and rush in my car and run across town and punch a time clock and be told what to do for 4 years. I was able to purchase land, live for free, and still own a home. Because my way seems to be working. So my whole thing is I don't understand what it is to go back and forth about. Like you're trying to tell me nobody. Listen, if I wanted something free, if I wanted free stuff from people, I would have had my house removed. I would have had this haunted house removed. I would have had a pond dug. I would have had a brand new if I wanted something from people, I don't want nothing from nobody for free. I don't want nobody around me that's gonna hold me hostage because of something. I'd rather do everything myself and half-ass do it than have somebody come and knock. Hell, I could have had somebody go ahead and put this drywall in for me. I don't want nobody in here. I could have had somebody come and put the insulation and run the electrical. Why would I do that? What's the rush? But y'all would do that. It's people out here that are, I just want it done, blah, blah, blah. And you going to go out there and get ripped off and end up paying 3 times more what it really costs. Man, what's wrong with this world? What are we doing, man? We have become so complacent and so freaking lazy with zero drive that we always waiting for somebody else to do everything for us, man. You know, I can prove that with one other fact. Everybody always calling on the phone to bring them some food. What's that? DoorDash? DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that. Everybody, every 5 minutes now, man. Got all these people, man, dropping bags of food off on their porch. I have never done that shit. I can't even literally, I cannot even remember. It's been over 15, 20 years that I've even had a pizza delivered to my, I don't even remember. It's been over 20 years. What, my son, 20 years old? Man, I haven't ordered a pizza and had it delivered to my house in probably 25, 30 years. Just go pick it up. We've become so MF and lazy that you too lazy to go make yourself unhealthy. You so lazy you can't go through the drive-through. You so fucking lazy that you literally have this poison delivered to your house by a weirdo. I'm not knocking no Uber Eat people, but I'm just saying they should at least have uniforms or smocks or a vest or something. Because every time, man, when I see Uber Eat people, man, they, oh my God, I wouldn't eat nothing. And then I see the car you getting out of. You get out the car and a bunch of food and bottles fall out and trash fall out in my driveway and shit like that. My daughter ordered that shit. And I'll be like, hey, stop having them come over to my house, man. Stop ordering shit coming to my house. If that truck don't say FedEx or UPS, don't have that shit coming to my. I don't know these people. They'll come up booming their music and all trash jump out of their floorboard of their car and they about to feed you. This dude walking up to the house don't even look like he wiped his booty correctly, and you want to eat the food that he about to deliver to you. Man, this world, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell everybody on YouTube right now. This is an exclusive. I'm ready to move on my land for good. I'm ready to move on my land full time for good. I don't want to go back into the city. I don't want to pay no more of those bills. I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of the way the system got us living, man. I'm sick of it. All of us right now, you owe somebody. You owe somebody some money. Go out to your mailbox. You got bills in your mailbox. And just like I said in the beginning of this video, it's nothing wrong with having bills. There's nothing wrong with owing somebody. My question to you, and I want you to ponder it, I mean it from my heart. From my heart, you got my heart. When does it stop? When do we stop? When does it stop where we stop having to pay? There is no end in sight for this constant chain of debt and owing and borrowing. When does it stop? You can't say when you dead. Is that where we are? Work till you dead? That's what we're all doing. And I can't help but think about, you go to work every day. You punch in. You're a good citizen. You stay out of trouble. You stay away from the police. You stay out of the streets. You go to work. You come home. You take care of your family. You take care of your kids. You take care of your wife. You do everything right. You pay your taxes. You pay for your home. Upstanding citizen. When is it that you can actually spend quality time with your family instead of running around trying to make money to afford all this stuff, this unnecessary stuff? When does this stop? There is no, they told us everything that we're supposed to do. Buy a house, get married, go to school, get education, buy a nice house, buy a nice car, kids, dog. But they didn't say when all paying for all this is supposed to stop. They said, go get the education, go get the house, go get the wife, have the children, have the dog, get a good job. But they never in that scenario say, when is this going to stop? Like, when do I stop paying for this? Who's paying for all of this? You pay for your education, you go in debt. You pay for the house, you go in debt. You pay for the marriage, you go in debt. You pay for the 2 children, you go in debt. You pay for the dog, you go in debt. You got the good job that you said in the scenario, but that good job is only to afford all of this bullshit. Nobody ever said in that scenario that you're going to live happily ever after. Because there's no such thing. All you do is live to grind. Grind to live. And I've been watching a lot of people for a long time, man. And there's people back home in my city, and they don't quite understand what I'm doing. And, because I'm from the city. I'm from the hood. And this country living is weird to them when they see me doing it. And I'm just trying to tell them, man, I can't keep living like that, man. I can't keep living to work. Just to work to live. I can't do it, man. And you know what? All homeless people, they're not homeless because they ran they on drugs or something. A lot of these homeless people, man, don't want to have no part of this system no more. I feel them. They would rather sleep on a park bench and have the police keep making them wake up and leave than have to deal with what we deal with every day. Who really live in foul? Let's be honest. Who is really living foul and in a fantasy world? The homeless dude on a park bench or us? Because there's a parallel universe there that we ain't thinking about. We only thinking about it on our side because our way is the most popular way to live. That don't make it right. Just because the way we are living through society is the more popular way to live does not make it right. All this homeless dude got to worry about is where he can go to lay down, where he can get him some rest at without being bothered, where can he go without getting jumped and beat up. If he can figure all that out, where can he get something to eat and drink? If he can figure that out, he good. He good. He not worried about paying no bills. He not worrying about all these people. I ain't worried about what we worry about every day. Because what we worry about is if we ain't working hard enough, everything falls apart. Let me touch on that better. Every day, and I'm talking to you because you are like me. Every day you go to work, every day you grind, your main thought, whether you think it is or not, it is you're trying to keep it all together. And your main thought, without you thinking about it or without you saying it, is, do I got enough? Can I maintain this situation? If I mess up, if I miss a day of work, if I stay out sick, it's all going to start unraveling until it fall apart. This system in the way that we're living right now got us all. And I'm gonna mess with your head for a minute because I know you are just like me. I know you're a lot like me because I'm a lot like you. Listen, when you're at work and you gotta go to work and you wake up and you don't feel good and you're sick and you're sneezing, you got a fever, or you got the bubble guts and you can't keep nothing in your body, you're always on the toilet bowl. You gotta call in to work. If you're anything like me, and I'm a normal human man, normal human being, you know my worst thought? Every time I get sick like that, well, when I used to work, I used to feel like, oh no, I'm getting sick. But I didn't feel like, you know, I'm going to let my team down, or I don't, my body and my health is going bad. My first thought was, I can't work. I gotta call off. I'm so sick, I gotta call off. And the next thing come to your mind is, how am I gonna pay this cell phone bill? How am I gonna make the mortgage? How am I gonna make the rent if I take too many days off? How am I gonna get the kids back and forth to school because I ain't got enough gas money? The first thing I think about when I got sick when I was at work was, this is messing with my money. I didn't even think about my own well-being. That was not my first thought. My first thought was, how am I going to make this money? So I can tell you how you're a lot like me. Because as soon as you felt a sniffle, as soon as you felt your throat itching, as soon as you felt your stomach rumbling, as soon as you felt that nausea and dizziness, you know what you did? You medicated yourself. You went to the medicine cabinet. You got some Pepto-Bismol. You got some aspirin. You got some Tylenol. You got some Kaopectate. You got some cough syrup. You got all of this stuff immediately trying to put it in your body so you can heal yourself. But you wasn't trying to heal yourself for your health. You're trying to heal yourself so you can go to work. Not so you can get better and be healthy. You're trying to make sure you can get back to work to make that money. Ain't that sick? Ain't that sick? That's sick. But that's where we all are. That's where we are today. Ain't you tired of living like that? Ain't you tired of that? I'm tired of it, man. And I got a solution how to make it stop. The money that I make every month, with all of the avenues that I have to make income, on top of my wife's income, with the money that me and my wife bring in every month, if I got rid of my house in South Carolina, I would live on this land like a king. Because selling that house would literally eliminate all debt, and it would have us some money left over to build a new home and a new life here. So all of my income that would come, that I would make or my wife would make, would all be savings because I own everything here. So then, if all the money that I make, I could start investing that money into making this land even more self-sustainable, that will be even more income coming in. The money that you put out, you're gonna get double back. If I take $3,000, $5,000 to have a pond built on my land, that thing gonna give me a lifetime of income of food to eat and water to harvest for the rest of my life and for the rest of my children's life. Everything that I would invest in right here on this land, instead of paying off a mortgage or paying into utilities that don't make no sense, why would I pay for an electric bill when I got all the solar that could run an average normal home? It doesn't make any sense. I have all the alternative power that I would need to run a full-size home. Water resources, electric resources, heating, cooling. What else do you need? Food, livestock, garden. What else do you need? Protection. What else do you need, man? I'm just rambling on. I just wanted to ask y'all. And unfortunately, we had a troll earlier. And I'm sorry that I had to even engage that. But what I did do was, just in case that wasn't a troll, or even if it was a troll, I wanted to make sure that the rest of us got the message. The real message and not the mess. Because what some of these trolls try to do is, to a content creator, is get you into some kind of political or bubble or some kind of confrontational bubble where that's going to bring out more trolls. And that's what started happening for a second until I changed the direction on that. But again, that's exactly what we're here for, and that's exactly what this video is about. Is the distractions got us living wrong. We living sideways because of all the nonsense and the stupid people walking around us. Let me tell you this. If you walking down the street in a big city, surrounded by hundreds of people, let's say New York City. You walking through New York City down by Times Square, right? And it's hundreds, if not thousands of people walking around you every direction you look. If you've ever been to a big city anywhere, you go downtown and it's hundreds of people everywhere, right? Out of all these hundreds of people around you walking through the city, you know what you always focus on? You can't tell me what none of these people look like walking around you. All these hundreds of people, you can't tell me their features, hair color, eye color. You don't know nothing about it. It's like a sea of people, an ocean of people walking around you. Out of all these hundreds of people, you know what you focus on? The one clown on the corner juggling the balls. I want you to think about that. Out of all these hundreds of people that's walking around you in this big city, that you should be focusing on, people pickpocketing you, people trying to rob you, people getting a free grab of you, you can't focus on all of that. All it takes is one brightly painted clown in a clown suit juggling some neon glowing balls. You won't take your eyes off of him. You will even stop and look at him and look at his talents and say, what the hell? What are you doing out here? Ain't you hot in that clown suit? All your attention will go to that one clown in a clown suit, to the point you don't realize that you're in a sea of people anymore. You don't even realize that there's hundreds of people walking past you every second. You don't even realize that anymore. That's the distraction of this world. And that clown is put there to distract you. And that's the life that we living in right now. Everything, the world is going around you and passing you by. Your life is passing you by, but we focused on the clown. We'll stand there and waste the next 40 years of our lives watching the clown. A clown's job is to keep you distracted. A clown's job is to keep you focused on him. That's his only reason for living. His only reason for his job is to make you look at him, so you don't pay attention to what you should be doing. And that's what a lot of these trolls are here for. They're put in this system and they're put in this programming to keep that happening. And a lot of these trolls and a lot of these weirdo people are putting your life to do exactly that. They are the juggling clown on the corner in your life that's to keep you distracted and off your path and off your square on your journey to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, or to keep you from thinking. While they juggling them balls, you can't think straight. You ain't thinking about, man, living like this is effed up. No, you too busy worrying about them juggling balls. You're focused on, he about to drop one. I think he about to drop one. He look like he about to drop one. You're focused on the clown and whether he gonna drop these balls he juggling or not. You'll do that for 40 or 50 years. I'm a victim of it. I've been doing that for years until I finally took my eyes off the clown for a minute and started looking around me and realized, man, 30 years done passed. The world been moving on without me. And I'm staring at the clowns. I'm staring at the people keeping my attention that's not important. And once I let them go and let the clowns and walk past the clowns, man, my life just been moving forward and up and up and up ever since. I just wish I didn't waste so much time staring at the clown, hoping he dropped them balls. And all of us is doing that too. And until we wake up and stop focusing on the clown, man, you ain't gonna live right. We ain't gonna never live right until we start figuring out, like, hey, like, what time is it? Where I been all this time? You caught up in the Lotus. I'm going to stop right there, y'all. Okay? So, everybody, enjoy your, what day is this? Enjoy your Wednesday. God. Enjoy your Wednesday. I'm going to be here at Freedom Acres for a while here in Oklahoma. I'm being Oklahoma, so if you anywhere near Oklahoma, you know, come holler at your boy. I'll let you through the gate. I really want to finish my work here. I've been here for over a day. And it's so peaceful. I can stare out my window and the only thing I see is deer. No human beings, no people, no police, nobody walking the dog, nothing. You said it's Tuesday? Okay, my watch said Wednesday. See? Man, I'm so at ease, I don't know what day it is. That's two things. Either you don't know what day it is because you ain't right in the head, or you don't know what day it is because you so at ease and your days is so mellow that you don't even care. That is one sign of retirement. I don't give up. I don't care. because I'm not on anybody's schedule. I don't have anything planned. My plans every day is to make my life better. It ain't no, I got to have my life better by Wednesday. You know, it's, man, in the morning, wake up, get your coffee going, get on your grind, finish up this electrical work, and then take a break, make some dinner. Tomorrow, we're going to start putting this drywall up. It ain't which day I'm going to do it. It's how much work for myself that I can get in a day. But when the sun come up to the sun go down, that's all I'm worried about. That's all I'm concerned about. What a feeling, man. I wish everybody could feel this. I got one friend. I wish I could talk to him. He understands how I feel. Because he always try. I hear him saying the exact same thing, and I feel him from my soul. And I also understand how disappointing it is to have that feeling of freedom that you can't share with anybody. To know what it feels like to be free. And the only way that you could describe the feeling to other people is through your words. And your words don't do freedom no justice. That freedom to come away from that system, that freedom to come away, that freedom of having peace in your life, that freedom of looking out the side and not having to deal with people or society or the way the systematic norms are. You don't have to deal with that. That feeling, man. I don't have to protect my peace. That feeling of not having to even protect it. Because it's always peaceful. I don't have to always have my guard up wondering if this dude gonna rob me or this dude gonna scam me or this phone. I don't have to do it. I got one friend, man. I miss talking to that dude, man, because he's one of the only people that truly, truly gets me. Because, damn, if y'all could feel this feeling, I feel so good. I don't have to tell nobody about it. I don't have to share it with nobody, but I feel like I need to shout it from the rooftop. I feel like I done found freedom. I done got off the plantation. I feel like Harriet Tubman. And I be trying to tell everybody, hey, man, freedom is this way. Come with me. And that disappointment that Harriet Tubman felt when some of the people, I ain't going nowhere with you. I'm cool. Me and Maz are cool. I'm cool. Matter of fact, if you don't leave, I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell you here, Harriet. The frustration that Harriet Tubman had to go through when her own people wouldn't listen or her own people didn't believe in her. They believed in the master and his words and the fear of what he would do over the fear of running through the woods to freedom. I understand her now. Having her own people turn on her, I understand Harriet Tubman. Because she found that freedom and she set up a system and got a system in place to free as many people's minds and body as she could. And some people were so caught up in the matrix that they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't leave the plantation mentally or physically. That frustration she had to feel trying to tell them, come with me. You don't got to live this way. I've seen freedom. I've tasted it. Do you know that you can go drink water wherever you want? Did you know where I'm going want to take you? You can go have your own business. Did you know where I want to take you? You can walk the streets. Do you know where I want to take you to? You don't got to walk around in chains. Do you know where I want to take you at? You don't got to live on the ground, sleep on the ground in a hut. Did you know that? I want to help you. And everybody say, nah, that sound like a fantasy. Sound like you lying. Nah, we going to stay here with Massa. That frustration that had to come through her to make it all the way back down to the South to try to get everybody on board to freedom, because she knew that the more of y'all I can save, the easier it will be for us to get back to freedom. If only one or two of you come with me, we're going to have a little fight ahead of us. It's going to be harder for us to defend ourselves. It's going to be harder for us to hide. But if I can get an army of us to go back and get back to freedom, no, we'll be untouchable. That frustration of her coming back down on that journey just so one or two people will agree with her and go back with her. And remember, wasn't no roads, wasn't no highways, wasn't no cars going 75 miles an hour. That lady was walking and on horseback going all the way from the north all the way back down to the south. In a car doing 75 miles an hour takes you damn 8 hours to 12 hours to do that. So it would take her weeks, if not months, to go back and forth, and only one or two people will want to go back with her. Can you imagine her frustration? Her dedicating her life to say, I'm going to help as many people as I can possibly help because I got a taste of something that they only dreamed about. And then you get there and nobody want to go with you. Everybody either too scared or too used to the system that Master done set up for you, that you don't like change. You don't want to change. You okay with barely eating, barely starving, and all the tortures just come along with you being on this piece of land that this man owns. You rather deal with that than running into the unknown to freedom. That's how I feel. All right. Let me get back to work. Finish my coffee, get to work. Everybody enjoy your day. Live Farmer 73. I love you. Stay safe. Wake up. And I'm out. Peace.